Bitcoin has risen more than 25% in the last week, from near $430 to a high of over $545 today. It has now risen more than 100% since last summer, when we said it was a screaming buy. In that time, it has been pronounced dead at least once, and is now at a 20-month high. We gave these three main reasons in the last year for why we thought it would go much higher. Bitcoin and blockchain are the future of money and banking. Still to this day, most other financial analysts either ignore Bitcoin or, even stupider, deride it as being some sort of scam or Ponzi scheme. The dollar and government services like Social Security are scams and Ponzi schemes, but Bitcoin clearly is not. It's open source, and so anyone who cares to look at it can see there is nothing nefarious about it. Therefore, anyone who says it's a scam or a Ponzi scheme is just showing willful ignorance, as they could very easily look at it themselves and see it as not. More than $1 billion was invested into Bitcoin or blockchain-related companies in 2015 from some of the biggest financial institutions in the world. They realize that Bitcoin and the blockchain has changed the world of money and banking, and they are just trying to keep up now. Bitcoin is the biggest thing to be developed since the internet itself. And in fact, blockchain-related technologies, like the DAO, which just raised $132 million and became the biggest crowdfund in history, is creating the next generation of the internet itself, a more decentralized one. Capital control crackdowns, bank bail-ins, and worldwide taxation schemes to drive Bitcoin growth. We've been one of the biggest sites following the war on cash, bank bail-ins, and the move towards a one-world taxation system. We said that governments will continue to crack down on capital and its flow across borders. In the US, the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA, continues to cause massive problems for banks worldwide who often end up opting out of the US dollar system. Bank bail-in clauses have now been written into law in every major Western country in advance of the next great crisis. And schemes like the Panama Papers are making it harder to operate in offshore jurisdictions. We said that this will lead a lot of people to Bitcoin, which cannot be sequestered, controlled, or regulated. Speculation on the latest breakout on Bitcoin is that it is due to demand from China, where they continue to have heavy capital controls and restrictions. The coming debt jubilee could send Bitcoin easily above $10,000, maybe $100,000, maybe more. Probably the biggest reason we'll see Bitcoin go exponential in the coming months and years is due to the coming debt jubilee. All Western governments are bankrupt and all Western banks are bankrupt. As this comes to a head, and we have a crisis that makes 2008 look like a wonderful time, we'll see currencies collapse, banks collapse, and potentially the entire financial and monetary systems collapse. But there's another reason why Bitcoin could go up dramatically in the coming months that we have mentioned a few times in the past. On July 18th of this year, Bitcoin undergoes a major event that only happens every 4 years called a halving. Bitcoins are developed through the process of mining, and a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins can be in existence at any one time. The value of mining is regulated in order to maintain this number. To prevent miners from surpassing this limit, the currency is designed to cut the value of mining in half every 4 years. It'd be like the Federal Reserve slashing the amount of money printing it does by half. This could have a major impact on the overall value of the currency. If demand for Bitcoin continues to grow while the number of coins that can be mined is drastically decreased, the value should naturally surge. That's just the law of supply and demand. No one knows how this will affect Bitcoin, because the last time it happened was in 2012, when Bitcoin was near $12 and the currency was in its infancy. So we can't use the past to make predictions on the future. But the halving does have the potential, all on its own, to create a massive rise in the value of Bitcoin.